After a successful and history-making filibuster to delay former Senator Chuck Hagel's nomination as Defense Secretary, Senator Lindsey Graham said Republicans were just doing their due diligence.
You're talking about a person whose voting record shows softness on Iran and antagonism toward Israel beyond belief. He'd be the most antagonistic senator toward the state of Israel in history. I think we're doing our job to scrutinize, I think, one of the most unqualified, radical choices for Secretary of Defense in a very long time.
So what does this mean for the American people and our troops serving overseas? Joining me now is Pete Hegseth, the CEO of Concerned Veterans of America. Good morning, Pete. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Peter. Thanks
Pete, I would think that a great veteran representative, you would love this guy. He was a Vietnam vet. Are you for him, against him? Does he meet the mark or not?
Well, we came out very early, actually, against Senator Hagel as the nominee for Secretary of Defense. But we do honor and thank him for everything he's done for veterans. There's no doubt he's been a huge advocate for veterans, which we think would make him a great fit for the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Oh, so where does he fail? Where does he fail in your mind as a Defense Secretary?
Wrong man, wrong job, wrong time. He hasn't been a thought leader on defense issues, even in his 10 years in the Senate. Hasn't been forward-looking and strategic thinking about defense. Hasn't put forth policy proposals in his time in the Senate. So as far as the weight and the gravity of what you would expect from a nominee for Secretary of Defense, it just isn't there. Again, we thank him for his service. That is honorable, and as a vets organization, we certainly respect that. But that doesn't qualify you, per se, to be Secretary of Defense. You also look at sequestration. He made totally thoughtless comments about that before his confirmation conversion, about how it just happen and it's okay if it happens. And then, as Lindsey Graham mentioned, you've got Israel, you've got Iran, you've got the statements he made about the Iraq surge being a foreign policy blunder. This is a guy not prepared to be Secretary of Defense. There are a lot of better defense professionals, Democrats, who would make great Secretaries of Defense. And I think after all this time and the nomination hearing, it's pretty clear someone else should be at the top there.
Pete, watch with me what Lindsey Graham said about a 2007 speech that Chuck Hagel gave at Rutgers, allegedly, talking about Israel again. Watch this together.
If this second statement were true, he said that the Secretary of State's office is under the control of the Israeli foreign ministers. Those two together will show an edge and a view of the Israeli-U.S. relationship way out of the mainstream.
I mean, that's a shocking statement, if in fact that's true. That alone, would that disqualify him?
I mean, I think so. That alone, along with all the other things he has said, whether it's the Jewish lobby or other things along the line that have belayed sort of an inner truthfulness about how he thinks the U.S. establishment, the U.S.'s role in the world should be, and what a relationship should be with our allies and with our enemies. In Iran, he's sort of soft-pedaled their pursuit of a nuclear weapon, which right now, at this critical moment, as they pursue it, it's not serious, it's not substantive, and it's not okay as we watch this administration's foreign policy sort of fade to the background.
Thanks, Pete Hegseth. We'll leave it there. Senator Hagel apparently disavowed that statement. We'll see at the end of February what happens to this nomination. Good to see you.
Thanks, Peter.
Next on the